Alright, so I believe we also discussed making this the Revelian Kingdom, the Revelian Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
So, should I make the modern name Heckna? I mean, I'm probably not pulling him out of the King in Yellow's throne, but maybe I could make a deal with him.
No, I mean, it's a one-time thing. I mean, it's not... who's to say it's the Heckna? It's just another version of Heckna.
True.
This is Heckna before he met the King in Yellow.
Before the carnival, before the King in Yellow. So would his name be Heckna? I don't know.
Also, just to let you guys know as a heads up, there is a storm rolling through my area, so if I lose internet, that's probably why.
Gotcha. I think I have rain going on up here, but I could be wrong and it's tomorrow.
You want to know the funny thing? Gotta love your Midwest weather when it's 60 degrees and storming right now, but by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's gonna be 35 and snowing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not even kidding. Today, it was 80. Right?
Huh.
Or in 2 days, it's gonna be 45.
Yeesh.
Yeah, global warming.
It's gonna go it's like 89 was the high today. Then tomorrow it's going down to 76. Then it's going down to 15 or to 49. Then Friday it's 72.
Wow. So.
And then Saturday Monday is in the 80s again.
Jeez. Alright, so I have randomly rolled a name because Heckna was clearly his stage name, so his name before anything was Roger.
Nice.
Oh, that's right, I also have to change this.
Just to put you where my head just went immediately. I went to, have you ever seen the movie Rent? Or the play Rent?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it before.
But, at one point, one of the guys just looks at one of the other characters. I'm Roger.
My thought first went to American Dad.
I could see that.
My favorite Roger bit ever is probably when he's driving the limo, the taxi service, and all the drunk kids don't pay him after their ride, and he just goes on a killing spree.
I remember that. Episode 4. Revelian Dynasty. There we go. There, we have changed to King of the Castle. I realized I forgot to do that on Twitch.
I went ahead and posted in our Phase of Our Lives Discord to see if any of the other guys are interested in joining. I know Milo, obviously, he's playing D&D.
Yeah.
But...
So, which regions do we want this time? We get 3 choices.
Look, I have to keep the streak alive.
Alright, capitalism it is.
Just to see if it keeps happening.
Alright. So, who are the other 2? The Barons, the Chiefs, the Counts, or the Grandees? We get 2 more.
Engage RNG, roll a d4.
You know what? That's a good point. I will grab my dice tower and die. And you know what? Considering this is the Revelian Dynasty, ow, I'm gonna grab my popcorn D4. Alright. 1 will be the barons, 2 will be the chiefs, 3 is the counts, and 4 is the grandees. Alright, looks like we have counts, and the counts, there we go, and the grandees. Alright. Of course, if you would like to join in, type !join and your pronouns. Oh, you can also choose your region if you want. New players who own the game can type in join and the region of their choice in Twitch chat to join a specific region. That's neat. That must be brand new. Alright, Bubba of the Grandees.
Also, I would recommend sharing the screen in our
yes.
Discord for the sake of...
What, you guys actually want to see it?
Delay.
I mean, I was following. I'm just gonna look at the thing, so.
Okay, should be streaming it. Why is it just blank? What's going on here? Huh. Maybe if I do that, it'll show properly?
Oh man, the streak is broken. I got put on the counts.
Ah, damn. Okay,
that's fine.
It goes. Now it's playing properly. Alright, so just waiting on you to hop in, Daluna. And Daluna's part of the patricians.
I thought I put he. Oh well.
Yeah, you did. Should have given you he, him.
Maybe you had to put he, him.
Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, because everyone else is a they, them. Well. Of course, people are free to join whenever they like.
I'm actually posting in, like, promotions and stuff like that.
Let's see. So I guess I can do this in any order I like. I mean, it seems only right to start at coronation. Your Majesty, I've scheduled your coronation to take place in a week's time. Shouldn't I be giving the orders now? Of course, Your Majesty, but to delay any longer would make the nobles restless. And when nobles get restless, they take their daggers and look for the nearest back. Very well, then. What must I do? As tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. What? But it's my coronation! This isn't an absolute monarchy, Your Majesty. Everything has to be run past a council vote, even this. Shall we call the nobles in? Alright, nobles, how will we crown King Roger? Do we hold a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine? I'm pretty sure that's his favorite option. Do we force the commoners to swear a blood oath? Do we throw the king into the river? Or do the nobles put on a vast banquet for the king? If we go with the parade, that will lower our treasury and raise stability. The blood oath will raise authority and lower stability. Throwing the king into the river will raise stability, lower authority. And for the banquet, we will raise farming but lower all of your wealth as nobles. I can do a veto. Or, you know what? I like the parade. But let's start the voting. Of course, type in !vote and the letter that you are voting for.
I'll go with the king's thing because we've dumped way too many kings in the river.
You know, it's getting stale. Throwing the king into the river. Alright, it's unanimous. The coronation is a great success. Jugglers, wine, fireworks, and feasts. Has an impact on your treasury, of course, but what doesn't? All right.
A true Revelian parade.
Indeed. You know, maybe minus the monster getting sent to the naughty corner. Now that you're the king, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. Your nobles hail from across the kingdom. The desolate east, the wealthy coast, and of course the scorching south. Let's start with the east.
In order to finally make your acquaintance, your grace, may you escape the doom that befell your predecessor.
Not ominous in the least. The patricians.
A pleasure, your serene highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign.
See, that's much nicer. And the Grandees of the South. Who will read for Bubba?
I got him.
All right.
May the ninth god bless your reign, your holiness. I trust that you will conduct yourself with honor and faith.
And with that, the introductions are done. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue with each other and demand your favor. You sigh and sit back. Is this what the council is like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs. I should have ran away and joined the circus. The path to victory! Your Majesty, when you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? A conqueror, a peacekeeper, as the greatest king who ever lived, as father of the nation, as the architect of a golden age, or as a saint. Well, even though this is alternate reality, Heckna, I feel like he'd want to be known as the greatest king who ever lived. Oh, something's going on over there. Daluna, you're a bit staticky over there. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, there it goes. It's gone. There was a weird buzzing. I see. You're the type who likes to build lots of statues of yourself, aren't you? I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving your authority as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Alright, and with that, the season ends.
After you've gotten laid, I'm gonna come back and tell you how you're doing.
Thanks. Quinta of the Daluna13 family, charismatic coastal elder, scribbles with well-issued quill on a hardwood desk, explaining in measured prose. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of King Roger. Something must be done. Alright, what will the patricians do? Do they try sorcery? Raise gaining authority? Conspiracy? Lower the treasury? Or C, corruption? Lowering authority? They can either work with the king's ambition, work against the king's ambition, or go with the third thing.
You know, I'm gonna go with the one that will probably be the easiest one for us to do.
Right, and it seems that Robot has joined the Counts, by the by. Right. Going with sorcery. The patricians... Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, what, you thought I was going to go with treasury? No, I don't want to spend money.
Fair enough. Now
we are the ones that gain money.
Now you're thinking like a capitalist. The patricians plan to make a bargain with a wizard. These important spellcasters seldom get involved in political squabbles, but perhaps if the king was considered a threat to their autonomy... To advance their scheme, the patricians must raise authority to 5 or more within 2 seasons. Well, you're already there, but couldn't hurt to raise it a bit more. Kaja of the L Robot Dynasty, legendary Eastern orator, leans delicately on a podium, sighing. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false King Roger is wearing the crown. Make the East great again is what she's saying. So what'll it be, counts? Do you go with intimidation, raising stability? Uprising, raise the treasury? Or C, possession, lower your own defiance? The choice is ultimately up to you. Our 2 counts.
Well... let's see. You know what?
Robot wants to raise the treasury. Alright.
Sure. And now us and the counts have a common goal: capitalism.
My god. The counts plan to incite a peasant uprising to overthrow the king before swooping in to steal the throne for themselves. To advance their schemes, the counts must raise the treasury to 2,000 or more in 2 seasons. Already there.
Yeah.
Paka, of the Bubba Lubba Ding Dong lineage, powerful former priest, stands bathed in sunshine, droning on as in a daze. A false pretender occupies the throne, while my claim is ignored. Grandees of the South, this is a stain on our honor. We must not allow it to go unanswered. Alright, Bubba, how will you try to get your throne? Through subterfuge, lowering stability. Doppelganger, lower your own defiance. Or C, excommunication, lower stability. The choice is yours. Four seconds. Alright, I don't know what happens if I hit continue and you haven't voted for anything. There we go. Looks like it's subterfuge, lowering stability. The Grandees plan to replace the king's advisors with their own agents. First, they must prove they're doing a bad job. To advance their scheme, the Grandees must lower stability to 4 or less in 3 seasons. So they've got a bit of a taller order. Here's where we are in everyone's scheme. We just started, so everyone's only at 1. Let's see what we have here. After voting, nobles can change their minds and vote for different options. The call for unity increases 1 stability if more than 50% of nobles vote for an option, or the monarch's golden choice. If nobles vote for a monarch's choice, they gain 500 personal wealth. I'm tempted to grab the call for unity, because that'd be really good at fighting against the lowering of stability. But nothing sways votes like capitalism, and we have 2 people that want capitalism, so I think I'm going with the golden choice. What's this? A new trend? Noble Patrician Daluna13 is here to see you, Your Majesty. They want to sell you, a crab. A what? It's the latest trend along the coast, Your Majesty. The patricians have started keeping a species of jeweled crabs as fashionable pets. The creatures are so rare that one can now sell for as much as a mansion. Very well, send them in.
Thank you for seeing me, Your Majesty. I know the price is steep, but I assure you, these crabs will only go up in value.
You know what? I'll invest in crabs. Worst case scenario, I can eat them.
Count.
Oh, sorry. Counting out your gold. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying the same thing.
Counting out your gold, Noble Patrician Daluna13 assures you that you will not regret your purchase. In before I regret my decisions on the crab trade. As tradition, each region offers a selection of elite guards, the Counts with Knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose, the Patricians with champion gladiators from the arena, and the Grandees offer the fiercest battle nuns from the Sisterhood of Steel. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalty will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to Coin above all. Alright. Let's see. It looks like we have another person in the Patricians. Let's learn about the Coastal Gladiators. A gang of low-born crooks who've turned themselves into celebrities through their skill at chopping other people to bits. They're vain and selfish. Their skill in battle is undeniable, but can you trust them? What about the battle nuns? Terrifying warriors, and they've sworn to a vow of silence, so at least they won't spill state secrets. That could be useful. But their faith and loyalty is to the church above all, even your safety. The Eastern Knights? The Order of the Drowned Rose are highly respectable. They'll understand palace etiquette, but it's been years since they fought an actual battle. They mostly write poems these days. I've made my decision. I await your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty. I mean, listen, how can I turn down the fucking battle nuns? They look badass as hell. I will make arrangements at once. The battle nuns arrive in the palace a few weeks later. They nod to you silently. Their solemn steel masks betray nothing, before filing into formation behind your throne. Now, the missing bees? Who would like to read for Count El Robot?
Your Highness, terrible news from the east. The bees have vanished.
But my breakfast, honey!
Not the bees again.
Yep.
Fear it's a wider implication than your breakfast, Your Highness, Your Grace. We can't rely on the bees for our honey trade.
I mean, isn't that exactly what I said, basically?
But worse, in the east, bees are beggars of good fortune. We look after them, and they look after us. It's a grim omen if they indeed deserted us. Our peasants are scared that we've offended the bees somehow. We must track them down!
Okay, we're gonna have to write an apology letter to the bees. Does anyone speak bee? Or rather, is anyone good at drawing bees dancing? Because that's how they communicate.
Ah, you saw that Biology School Bus episode 2.
We just hire a druid. They know to speak with animals.
Fair point. Alright, so here are options, Council. Bees come and go. Let nature take its course. This will lower farming, raise trade, and raise defiance of the Counts. B. We send messengers to investigate other regions. This will lower defiance. Or C. Ask peasants if they noticed anything wrong. This will raise stability and lower authority. So I'm just gonna get rid of that one because I don't want authority going down. So it's B or A. We begin the voting. Remember, exclamation point, vote an A or B. Alright, we've got 1 vote for messengers to see how that goes. 2. You know what? That makes sense. It's the viable option here.
Yeah, I'll take the...
It's unanimous. Because, I mean, A seems just, fuck it, who cares? They're just bees, and then the country falls into ruin. The voting has ended. By unanimous decision, we send messengers to investigate the other regions. The eastern beehives continue to languish, but the Counts are grateful that the Council takes the situation seriously. Messengers ready themselves to traverse the kingdom and find the bees. Surely, it shouldn't be too hard to find such a huge swarm. Surely. And that will end our 2nd season. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between or outside of, it's time for an auction. Type in exclamation point fund the character code for whichever building you want to make, and Y is the amount of money. So, like, if you wanted to fund this deer park, fund A, and then, like, say 500 gold. We have a deer park, which lowers farming, a theater, which lowers authority, a observatory, which lowers faith in the grandees, a prison, which lowers stability, a library, which raises stability, and a monument, which raises authority. And I mean, this might just be me, but, you know, that authority thing's probably really good for the patricians, just throwing that out there. But let's start the auction. Wait, items are being blocked on screen? What? Wait, I see. Hold on, I gotta fix the, give me 1 second here. There we go, now you should be able to properly see. Yeah, sorry about that, Taurine. I didn't realize it was blocking. That's on me.
Taurine, for ours to work, vote F. Fund F.
Yep, so far it seems we got 20 seconds left. And it looks like we're going to have a canceling, because unless we get another building built, the theater that lowers authority and the one that raises authority is going to win. Only 3 seconds left, so it looks like it's going to be a neutral buyout. Which, I mean, I suppose is better than just complete devastation here.
Yes.
So we don't lose authority, nor do we gain it. Oh no. A city in flames, but let's worry about my spouse first. That seems very Heckna. In the twisty passages of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, the nobles, even the spy master. But there's one person you can't avoid. Your mother. Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's been almost a year. I've been busy. You better find the time. Don't worry. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference? Men, women, or do you not mind?
This is a very important thing for fans of the Revelian to know.
I mean, Heckna canonically is interested in whoever. Because, I mean, it is implied he had a relationship with Cicero. However, it's also implied he has strong feelings towards Sophie. Though whether he wanted a relationship with her or not is up in the air. So if I want to be canonical, I'd go with any. Fuck it, we'll go with the canonical. And we'll see who's available. Excellent, I'll send out messengers for the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. Although if it's 2 guys, I don't quite understand how an heir is going to happen, but we'll just cross that bridge when we get to it, I guess. Now, what's this about a city in flames?
Your Highness, there's been a terrible fire in the city of Sarahona. We were once there were buildings. There is now a field of smoldering ash. Dozens of peasants have died.
What caused this fire?
Filled with a religious conviction, the townsfolk seized a traveling wizard and attempted to burn him at the stake for practicing dark magic.
And we see how that turned out.
But yet somehow he walked out of the city unharmed. The same cannot be said for those who tried to burn him.
This is why you never tangle with wizards.
You don't understand,
Well,
you're probably just supposed to curse upon your kingdom. This is on you.
I was hoping the council might unlock some funds from the treasury so we could rebuild.
Sorry, I invested in crabs. We don't have a lot in the treasury, but let's see what we can do. So, apparently the treasury is too low to do any of the rebuilding options. So we can't rebuild the city exactly how it was. We can't rebuild it in stone rather than wood. We can either offer no help at all, which will lower raise defiance, lower faith, and lower stability. Or we could find and punish the wizard responsible, which will lower faith, lower military, lower authority, lower wealth, and raise defiance. So both of these options are horrible. So fuck it, let's see what we get.
The wizard is a witch.
I'm the witch.
Apparently no one has learned their lesson of not fucking with wizards.
You know what? Fuck it. I said this is not a good idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well, once again, it seems no one learned their lesson about the first time of fucking with a wizard, so let's continue fucking with a wizard. A wizard named Gordius is deemed responsible for the fire. You send a squad of soldiers to arrest him and bring him in for questioning. Your soldiers are found a week later scattered around a field, reduced to bones and ashes. The superstitious townsfolk whisper that wizards are above the laws of both king and god. Meanwhile, the grandees, who bear the cost of rebuilding, grumble that the money would have been more appreciable than your ham-fisted attempt at justice.
Gods above, what is the point of having a king in the first place?
Listen, it's not my fault. Listen, it's not my fault that I invested in crabs. Blame the person who sold me the crabs.
Hey, don't blame me bringing it to this.
Look, you're just too good a salesman, so we don't have enough money.
Those crabs are gonna make you rich. Do you not understand this?
A stinging problem. The messenger you sent to look for the Count's bees has returned, Your Majesty. We've discovered where they went. They've been seen in the south. Grandy, the Bubba Ding Dong, stamps in, their face swollen and covered with stings. Wow, from fire to bee stings. Oof.
Those damned Counts! I bet they set those bees of theirs just to trouble us.
I did
What's wrong with your face?
I did wonder what was going on with your face.
Yes, it's terrible. Upon my honor, those bees must be destroyed. No one dares goes outside. Our markets are ruined.
Man, we're really getting hit with catastrophe after catastrophe, huh?
Blood and stars, those bees are our livelihood. If they're killed, they'll bring bad luck to all of us.
Then you should have taken better care of them, shouldn't you?
Alright, Council,
Look, maybe if you didn't piss off the bees, they wouldn't have stung you. You ever think of that?
Alright, well, Council, what are we going to do? Do we focus on luring the bees back to the east? This will raise and lower defiance accordingly, and farming will go down. Do we destroy the bees in the south? This will raise and lower defiance accordingly, and faith will go down. Or do we get the church to help heal the peasants? With a 60% faith, rather, this has a 60% chance of success because of our faith being so high in the grandees. Honestly, kind of like C. Hold on. Don't vote yet. I haven't hit the start vote button. Now vote. There we go. Robot, you will have to re-put in your vote. Alright, looks like it's a dead heat tie with my monarchs. Actually, no, it's not a dead tie with the golden choice, because it doesn't count as an additional vote. That's a different thing. It goes to luring the bees back to the east. Some of the grandees grumble they're not getting enough help from the crown. Their farmers resort to huge protective suits and hats, which hamper their work terribly. Defiance has gone up in the south, and farming is down to fertile. Meanwhile, the Counts are grateful, but desperate to figure out how to bring the bees back. Eastern folktales describe charms that can control bees. Hopefully the Counts can find one before it's too late. Alright, and that ends our season. Discontent on the rise. Perched atop a hill in the remote eastern wilderness sits a dark, austere castle. At the top of the tallest tower, Count El Robot and his co-conspirators can be found deep in their cups.
It's not enough. Presidents could care less about the king or his hoarded wealth. How are we supposed to incite an uprising in this climate?
Well, we should start by ensuring the king actually has some wealth to flaunt.
It's a shame the king seems determined to be destitute.
You just don't understand. I was assured these crabs are a great purchase.
And they are, Your Majesty. I swear to you, they are.
Perhaps he's just really bad with money.
The counts aim to raise the treasury to 2,000 or more. Meanwhile, in the Recruiting the Wizard Fund, in the coast, noble patrician Daluna13 sits on a pier watching the sharks swim lazy circles beneath their dangling feet.
Any luck finding a wizard to aid our cause? What about that one that was terrorizing that other village?
No, I'm afraid not. King Roger is weak, and the wizards are satisfied that they needn't worry about royal meddling in their affairs.
Depths below, we must try harder.
The patrician's aim is to raise authority to 5 or more. Wait, but I thought we had a neutral authority thing going on. Oh, well, whatever.
It went down because of one of the choices.
That's right. Alright, everyone, it's tax season. You know, the Grandees have it pretty rough. I think I'm not gonna bribe them because I don't have the funds for it. I think we're just gonna do a standard tax. That's good. I could have done a cruel tax on someone, but I felt like that was a bit too much. Oh, wait, hold on. The crabs are more important than getting married.
The crab craze swollen to unforeseen heights, Your Majesty.
That's good, isn't it? Oh, the trade is so profitable that patricians are shutting down textile mills to focus on crab catching. Thousands are unemployed.
Who cares about that, Your Majesty? A box of crabs is not worth double what you paid for it.
Neat. Well, I mean, obviously, sell! Hold your nerve and hold on to the crabs. It's just a waste of everyone's time. I'll make the sale. No, I'm gonna sell them. Penny pincher, you turned a profit on the crab market. You sell your crabs for much more than you paid. The treasurer appears satisfied with your practicality. Meanwhile, industries collapse on the coast. Okay, so now they've gone from what they were at to prosperous. Okay, maybe
my crabs plan works stupidly well.
Now see,
everything else is ruined.
Now see, here's the thing. I'm a very, very shrewd businessman. Now that I've sold my crabs, the next time this thing comes up, I'll make it illegal. And then that way, only I will have profited from the crabs. Anyway, let's see who I can marry. I've found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young candidate from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. Yes, I know. Your mother leads you to the Great Hall, where she arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth. Alright then, let's see the eligible candidates. She whisks the cloth from the first portrait. This is Desdamenia, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Chocolate Zombie 101 Dynasty. Forgive the snooty expression, I'm sure that is caused by an errant brushstroke. She spends most of her time with a fencing master, mastering the blade. I've heard a rumor she's training herself for some epic confrontation with an old rival. She's an intriguing candidate.
I don't know, I wouldn't trust that.
Okay, this is weird. From the coast we have Zeno, the wealthy heir to Lady Patrician Taurine Trashman's estate. He wasn't originally the heir, but his eldest brother had an unfortunate accident. Damn, I can't believe Zeno from Cult of Personality is here and wants to go on a relationship with Heckna. Wild.
Look, I never said I wasn't going to do anything. I never said I wasn't bi.
Fair enough. His interests are typical of the coast. Money, 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 and making more of it. Unfortunately, he's quite bad at it. All his business deals seem to fall through.
Oh my god, this would be Zeno.
Oh my god. It could be worse, but could be a lot better. And finally, from the south, Daluna, eldest daughter of the Bubba-Lubba-Ding-Dong lineage. See that scar? She got that in a duel. She's always challenging people over some slight. The only thing she cares for is her faith, which she places above all worldly concerns. Despite that, though, she's said to have collected sins like soldiers collect medals. Not bad. Not bad at all. What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance. I've made my decision. So, here's the thing. Zeno, I don't think it's a wise decision to have him in the castle since he has get-rich-quick schemes, and he's bad with money, and we were in a pretty bad situation with the treasury. Thankfully, that worked out for us, so maybe it'll balance out, but I don't want to take that risk. Daluna apparently is more interested in her faith. That could lead to problems. Desomena, however, I mean, apparently slightly snooty, but, it's pretty cool. She has a rival that she's going to confront at some point. You won't anger me, my son is a donkey. You know what? Fair enough, Terry. Fair enough. So we have two, combatant wives at this point. Desdemona and Daluna.
Here's the thing, Trash Man. Like we joke, Zeno is actually my character's name in the D&D campaign that me and Draco met in.
Yeah. A while ago, but it's wild that it appeared here. I think I'm gonna go with Desdemona. Excellent. I'll make the arrangements. And maybe I should have gone with Daluna because that would have lowered defiance in the south. Oh well, nothing I can do about that now. Ah, a useful trinket. Oh, I don't think I have the Revelia activated anymore. Bubba. Count El Robot holds a slat of wood attached to a length of string. When he swings it around his head, it makes a powerful buzzing noise. Who's...
Oh, right. Look at this. It's a bee charm. I bought it from a wandering druid. It's proven to be most effective at attracting bees back to the east. We could even control them to an extent.
Well, El Robot, your wealth has decreased a bit, but the farming is now abundant, so it was a pretty good investment. A blanket of eager bees is already covering the windows of the council hall. Is there a catch?
None that we know of, Your Majesty. Though the druid charges an arm and a leg. We're practically drowning in honey. Our crops are thriving. However, I petitioned the council to invest for an investment to help us use the charm. It requires constant use, and my arm is starting to hurt. Besides, it would be a shame for an unfortunate storm situation to happen again.
Are you extorting us all?
I was gonna say, that sounds like a threat.
The nobles exchanged nervous glances. No one wants a plague of bees descending on their household. Alright, council, so what'll it be? Do we pay off the counts? We will lose 1,000 gold from the treasury. Defiance will go down, farming will go up more, and wealth will go up, to El Robot specifically. The other nobles should pay off the counts. This will raise and lower defiance accordingly. Farming will go up, and wealth of various people will go up or down. Or do we forbid the counts from using the bee charm aggressively, which is a 40% chance of success, given our current authority? I'll just leave it up to all of you. Feel free to vote.
Fuck it, we have the money.
It's true, we do have the money. Oh, So Robot has voted for B, so that the nobles should pay it off. However, Daluna has voted A. The treasury should pay it off.
For one reason, I don't want to use my money to pay off this stupid B idea.
I see. Bubba's chosen C. We have 2 people voting for the treasury. I believe there's still 1 person to vote. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And there we go.
That's just me.
It's a dead heat tie. So that means it goes to the king. Can I see your... Yes, I can. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with B then. Although... I'm torn. Because on one hand, could we pay for it? Yes. But on the other hand, the nobles have the funds at the moment. But on the other hand, it might be better to let them keep their funds. I'm going to flip a coin for it. Heads for A, tails for B. Alright. So the coin has dictated, thus it shall be written.
Damn it!
The nobles aren't pleased about the situation, but they're too afraid of the swarm to refuse. El Robot received the payment with an oily smile. But hey, farming is up. True to their word, the counts do not use the charm against anyone. Yet. Instead, they focus on their own lands, building up even more honey stores and helping their fields flourish. Right.
Honey will not get you anywhere nearly as far as crabs will.
We'll see. The market's a fickle mistress.
Look, you can actually eat crabs. Honey is just a topping on cakes.
I mean, you could
and put it in
honey.
your tea. Although I do like tea in my honey.
In the south.
Shit.
See? In the south, beneath the scorching sun, Grandy, the Bubba Ding Dong, is strolling through their vineyard in the company of a few close friends.
The kingdom's fine. No one's calling for the king's advice to resign. We need to step up. More chaos. More panic.
Then we can swoop in and offer the king an olive branch.
Yes, and if he doesn't want to take it, we'll smack him with it. We'll smack him with it until he gives in.
The Grandy's aim is to lower stability to 4 or less. Meanwhile, back in the east, a secret cadre of counts have met at Count El Robot's keep once more. A blood-red wine is passed around merrily as they discuss their recent success.
Draco, I think this is you.
The peasants are getting rowdy, and it's all thanks to us. Now that they know how much wealth the king's hiding, they're itching to get rid of him. Oh, careful we don't get them too riled up, mind you, or they'll start asking questions about our wealth as well. Yes, now it's time to incite some real chaos. Show them that King Roger is not only greedy, but he's utterly incompetent too.
For the next stage of their scheme, the counts must lower stability to 4 or less in 4 seasons. Well, it seems the Grandies and the counts have a similar goal. Let's see, Royal Gamble. 600 plus treasury if the nobles vote for the selected option. If otherwise, if the nobles vote otherwise, it's minus 200. Swing votes or anonymous voting.
Anonymous voting be interesting.
I could, but I'd have to figure out what I would get rid of, and I'm pretty happy with our current laws. Escaped experiment, the royal wedding, a bee empire. Your wedding to Desdemona is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. Feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Desdemona at your side. Do you take this woman as your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Then I pronounce you king and wife. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. At the feast, your new wife, Desdemona, delivers a long, rambling speech that puts everyone to sleep. Stability is now steady. Authority is now credible. Defiance is grumbling in the coast, grumbling in the south, and the east. The defiance can't get any lower. By the time you find yourself alone with Desdemona, it's past midnight and you've never felt more tired. What a wonderful occasion that was. A shame we had to see all those filthy peasants lining the streets on the way to the cathedral. Back in the East, our guards would know how to deal with the rabble. I hope you're not feeling homesick already. Of course not. I never get homesick, actually. I can't abide people who waste time dwelling on the past. Tell me something you're passionate about. Well, I'm a champion fighter. Never been beaten in hand-to-hand combat. Each of my fingers has a kill count, actually. That's so interesting. It is, isn't it? Anyway, to continue on the subject, you gently fall asleep to the sound of Desdemona droning on about herself. Alright, let's see what this escaped experiment thing is. Apparently something has escaped from the cellar of Count Chocolate Zombie 101's castle. I've asked for an eyewitness report from a local. Hello, Your Majesty. It was a right unholy sight. A monster stitched together from parts dug up from the village cemetery. I recognize my Aunt Edna's earlobes. How? Is that something you focused on a lot? Did it hurt anyone? No, it just seemed confused. Kept asking for its parent. Draco?
This creature is my life's work, Your Highness, and my son. His escape was regrettable. He just wanted to see the village up close. Rest assured, I have chained him up for more security in my dungeon to ensure this won't happen again.
Seems like an awful, horrible way to treat your son. But who am I to judge? I'm not a parent yet. It's too late for that, Kant. You and your unholy creation must be burned. It's the only way to cleanse the world of your evil. Alright, Council, what'll we do? Do we burn both Chocolate Zombie 101 and their monster? This will raise defiance, raise the faith, and raise stability. Do we burn the monster, but let the Kant live? This will raise defiance, raise faith, but lower stability. Or C, the monster may live as long as it stays in prison. This will lower defiance, lower stability, lower faith, and lower authority. Or do we just free the monster? That is a 70% chance of success because of our stability. I like D. D is nice. He didn't hurt nobody. He was just walking around. He's basically a child. There are 20 seconds left to vote.
Chaos.
Look, he didn't do anything wrong. As far as we're aware, he's a harmless being.
Yeah.
If something does happen, then we can kill him.
At the very least, we give him a chance, and then we let the High Inquisitor do what she does best: burn things at the stake. A near unanimous decision with only one detractor. Chaco? Chaco? Did we lose him?
Oh god. Draco, you alright?
No, Your Grace, the boy is not ready for freedom. This will end in disaster.
The council would free this unholy monstrosity and allow its twisted creator to go unpunished? What kind of message does this send? You're all mad. You'll see. Doom will come to the east. Doom! Fortunately, the High Inquisitor's words proved prophetic. Oh, that's a shame. We had a 70% chance of success and it failed. The abomination snaps after relentless bullying from the suspicious villagers. It goes on a spree across the east, torching the fields and murdering the peasants. This lowers our farming in the east, and it lowers stability to 6. It's finally brought to justice by an angry mob. The common folk mock you for allowing your soft heart to blind you to common sense. Authority went down, and defiance went up, actually. Well,
God damn it.
That went poorly. Very unfortunately. Poor lad. Who was reading for Bubba? It was Chaco, right?
Bubba's Chaco and Robot's me.
It's just not fair, Your Highness. The speed charm has given Count El Robot a monopoly on honey.
Honeyopoly?
The grandees are just jealous that we made good use of a bad situation. Everything I'm doing is perfectly legal. I was the one who thought up the charm in the first place. To help you not get stung.
But ever since you got hold of that charm, your bees have been making unnatural quantities of honey. It's not fair on honest business owners. We can't compete.
Alright, Council, what'll we do? A. Do we impose high tariffs on Eastern honey? This will raise defiance, lower farming, raise trade, increase wealth, increase the treasury and lower wealth. B. Do we let the Counts be Empire fly? That'll increase El Robot's wealth, increase the farming, increase the trade, lower and raise defiance accordingly. Or C, do we pay for prestigious royal honey for the palace? This will lower the treasury, raise farming, lower defiance, and raise authority. I do like authority. Anyone who votes for C is getting 500 personal wealth. I mean, I understand why you like BL Robot.
And you understand why I like C.
Alright.
Look, Your Majesty, it's a win-win. You like honey, and all of us like honey, so why wouldn't we want to do this?
No, that's perfectly fair. I completely understand. Well, in a 4-2 vote, it looks like we're getting royal honey. The Counts murmur in surprise, but agree. Soon, specially branded royal honey is shipped to the palace, becoming a famous delicacy. The treasury has gone down to 2,300, the farming is now abundant in the east, defiance is now low. The Chancellor even serves it to foreign diplomats who greatly approve the delicate flavor and delicious sweetness. It makes negotiations much more pleasant. This has raised our authority to 5. Alright, now we end the season. Let's see how the wizard recruitment is now going. In the coast, Noble Patrician Daluna13 sits on a pier watching the sharks swim lazily, circles beneath their dangling feet. Suddenly, the water begins to boil and froth. The sharks swim off in terror. A huge, shaggy figure rises from the sea. You wanted to meet me? Make it quick! A giant squid is fighting a sperm whale 30 miles from here, and I don't want to miss it.
I thought we might have a common goal. The king has been overstepping his bounds recently, hasn't he?
Humph. The king's navy did anchor their ships over my favorite reef last month. Bloody annoying. Alright, I'll help ye. But you better get rid of the bees first.
Did you say bees?
Yes. On this plane, they're simple insects. But in the apiary, the world of dreams and magic, they're powerful and intelligent. They call themselves the dreams of being. They have an innate fondness for royalty, and sometimes protect monarchs from magical interference. But they won't harm non-magical folk, beyond the occasional sting. So you can deal with them. And yes, Alexa, you absolutely can join. Just type in !join in your preferred pronouns. For the next stage of their scheme, the patricians must lower all regions' combined farming to 14 or less in 4 seasons. Let's see, that's 854. So that would be 17 it's at right now. We have the counts in their second stage, and the patricians in their second stage. Unfortunately, the grandees had the short end of the stick. Uh-oh. Crab bubble versts, plague ship. Well, before we get to the crabs, let's see what this rising tempers thing's about. Grandee Surveyor stumbles into your throne room in a frenzy, nursing a bloody nose. I guess I'll read for Surveyor. Your Highness, your queen consort is out of control, completely unhinged. Why, I think she broken my nose. Apologies, Surveyor, but you were insulting my parents. I only spoke the truth. Regardless, you were the one who escalated to violence. I demand recompense for my injury. Enough of this pettiness. Fine, take this coin as an apology. Enough of this pettiness. Oh, I can't pick that.
I feel like we should vote. That we should have it on a vote.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's make it fair. We're a controlled monarchy, so we might as well vote on it. Yes, I'm sure my fellow grandees will be equally disgusted by Desdemona's brutish behavior. And it looks like we have another patrician. Alright, council, what will we do? Do we pay Grandee Surveyor compensation for his injury? The treasury will go down, wealth will go up for Surveyor. Or B, do we just dismiss the complaint? He was talking shit, so he clearly had to get hit. This will raise defiance for the Grandees. I'm just let whatever come may. And Alexa, thank you for the follow. It's weird that the alert didn't play like it should have.
You got beat up by a girl. No offense, Your Majesty.
I mean, I'm not the one who got beaten up. Why didn't it play the alert? Weird. I'll have to look at that later. But in the meanwhile, let's, Well, I guess it's the civil thing to do. Desdemona has disappeared before the council's last vote has even come in. You're left alone to watch the treasurer count out coin for a hungry-looking Grandee Surveyor. Treasury's now down to 1,700, and his wealth is increased to 1,000. Anyway, let's see about the crab bubble bursting. Seems I've got out just in time. Bad news, Your Majesty. A new reef has been discovered, which is overflowing with millions of jeweled crabs. Crab prices are crashing catastrophically. What? The entire kingdom will suffer financially, Your Majesty, with the exception of a few patricians. Curiously, Noble Patrician Daluna13, the very same patrician who first began the crab craze, recently sold all their crabs at a huge profit, just days before the crash.
Look. It's a well-known business venture. buy and sell at the proper time.
I mean, I did, but something must be done. You summon your council to discuss the crab price crisis. Many assembled nobles have invested heavily in the crab market, and they're casting furious glances at the patricians' benches. Alright, council, we cannot bail out the failed businesses because we do not have the funds anymore. So we can only choose to let the council suffer the full consequences of this crisis. Trade will go down, defiance will go up, stability will go down. Or do we arrest noble patrician Daluna13 and confiscate their ill-gotten gold? Trade will go down, defiance will go up, stability will go down, but the treasury will go up, and his wealth will go down.
Excuse you? I didn't know about that. I just sold because it was the perfect time to sell.
I mean, we'll let the council decide. I'm not putting any of my special secret votes in, so... Council, his fate is completely up to you. Fortunately, if we had the money to bail out the businesses, we could, but... Fortunately, that money went away recently, huh? Alright, so far we have... Oh, it's looking like C's the popular vote. Ah, close call. But it looks like we're gonna have to arrest Daluna13. Your soldiers storm noble patrician Daluna13's opulent mansion, arresting them and confiscating their ill-gotten crab gold. The trial will be held as soon as possible. Unfortunately, that brings stability down to 5. Trade is now at 4 for the coast. Their defiance is at 5. The treasury's at 3,550, which is, I mean, great for me all around, but, you know. And then, of course, Daluna13's wealth has plummeted down to 1,850 from the 3,350 it was at. Outrage, patricians protest that your actions are illegal and make a mockery of the law. Don't they know you're the king? Honestly. Alright, what's this about a plague ship? The Royal Navy has stopped a ship in the harbors at Thalassus, Your Majesty. It's a merchant vessel from Danae, and the crew have come down with some kind of plague. The captain refuses to go home, saying his crew need food and medicinal attention before offloading any cargo. Who wants to read for Alexa?
That ship is fine. That ship's carrying fine silks and dye is worth thousands. I don't care what happens to the crew. We need those goods.
Tell me more about this plague. The infected have high fevers, oozing pustules, uncontrollable vomiting. Sounds like creeping scourge, which bumped off half the kingdom a few centuries ago. Let's call a vote. Alright, council, what do we do? Do we allow the ship to dock and offload its goods? This will lower defiance, lower trade, lower military, lower farming, and lower stability. Do we B, quarantine the ship, but take the goods? This has a 50% chance of success. It is a literal coin flip how this one will go. Maybe nothing will happen, and we'll get the goods and it'll all be fine and dandy and rainbows and sunshine. Or we'll get a plague. C, do we quarantine the ship and toss the goods into the sea? This will lower wealth, raise defiance, and lower trade. Or D, do we just sink the ship and all aboard? This will lower trade, raise defiance, and lower the wealth. You know what? I'm just gonna let this one ride.
Look, a little plague never hurt anybody.
I mean, Europe would beg to differ.
But they only lost a third of their population.
Hell, modern times would also beg to differ.
We only lost 1 million people.
A few million. Well, it looks like the answer was to just ignore the plague, according to this vote. B got close. Voting has closed. Well, let's just hope nothing bad happens. The dyes and silks are carried into port, much to Lady Alexandra Aranella's satisfaction, and the crew were transferred to the town physician's care. Unfortunately, most of the crew perish, and the physician soon comes down with creeping scourge. And it spreads, and spreads, first along the coast, then across the whole kingdom. Your Majesty, the kingdom is in the grip of a full-blown plague. We must shut down the roads and quarantine the worst affected areas. Well, trade in the coast is now at 2, trade in the coast in the east is now at 2, and the south is at 4. Thousands die, soldiers die, leaving the armies undermanned. Farmers die, leaving the crops to rot in the field. The coast's military is at 1. The East military is at 3. The South is at 0. The South has completely lost its military to the plague. The farming at the coast is 2. The farming in the East is now at 6. And the farming in the South is at 3. On the bright side, the plague kills people so swiftly, it burns itself out within 3 months. But it leaves the kingdom in a state of chaos and devastation, bringing us down to a stability of 3. This is why we quarantine. But hey, you got your fabrics. Chaos in the kingdom. The kingdom's in jeopardy and the council is calling for the king's inner circle to resign. We need to increase the pressure. If the king is in a weak enough position, he's got no choice but to bow to our demands. No more interfering spy master, no more marshal or chancellor or treasurer, a whole new inner circle, all made up of grandees. For the next stage of their scheme, the grandees must lower authority to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Alright, it's time to start an auction, everybody. Our options are the cathedral, which will raise faith in the east. We could get a prison, which will lower stability further, which probably isn't even necessary at this point, but you could do it. On the grandees, we could have a monument. C would raise authority. I'm sure no one's going to vote for that, but I mean, hey, could use some more authority to foil the grandees in their plan. Or, you know, you could fund a theater in the grandees to lower authority, I guess. You could make a deer park to lower farming in the coast even further, but they're already struggling with that. Oh, yeah. They have their goal because farming is so low, huh? And then we could also make a fortress in the south for military up. But, of course, it's all up to you what we fund. I'm just saying, see, I could stand to give you some of the treasury if you'd be, when tax season comes around, if you want to fund that monument. Just throwing that out there. Really? E, huh? You want to lower the... oh, wait, no, that makes sense. Because you want to lower your own farming. Because that's part of the farming overall. That makes sense, yeah. Alright, so it looks like stability is going down and farming is going down if trends keep going. No one wanted to fund the monument, huh? To thwart the grandees. And also thwart the deer park farming thing, huh? Apparently not. Well, I guess no one wants a bribe. That's unfortunate. Well, that's great for the patricians. Well, let's see what we can do about our heir. Your marriage to Desdemona has grown stale. Oh, you get along well enough, and you've made some good memories together, but there's no spark. She cares more about perfecting her combat moves than your happiness, but spark or no spark, you still need an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. It went about as well as it could be expected. You're still in power, aren't you? Still got the crown on your head? That's what matters. You've done well so far, but something's still missing. An heir. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick. Even if they're a bastard, the youngest of your many cousins. Alright, we need some puns in here.
You know what? He is absolutely right.
Hmm?
I'm talking about Bubba. He's absolutely right. So.
All right, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 puns. I'll start with this one. You know, I recently attended a magic show in Mexico. The magician said uno, dos, and then vanished without a trace. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more puns. 7 more puns. While most puns make me feel numb, math puns make me feel number. Or make me feel number, excuse me. I just texted my girlfriend Ruth and bluntly told her that it's over between us. That's me. Ruthless. Feeling cold? Go stand in the corner. It's 90 degrees. A pig lost his voice. Now he's disgruntled. Eventually I'll get back to the game, but not happening anytime soon, apparently. Posts were removed because someone took offense. Before Mount Rushmore was carved, its natural beauty was unprecedented. Pacemakers will always have a place in my heart. You know, nostalgia, it just isn't what it used to be. I bought a head of lettuce from a small grocery store called Mama's and Papa's, but I can't eat it because all the leaves are brown. I don't get that one.
That's a song reference. Oh.
Huh.
All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray.
Huh. Oh, and considering, Onyx, that you redeemed those puns, you could also join the game if you like, if you hit !join and then your preferred pronouns. Anyway, I'm going to say my wife and I will have a child, even though... Ah, the traditional method. No one would object to that. I'll arrange for you to take a month off your from ruling so you can, get down to business. Well, I don't got time for that. Apparently the roads are dangerous and there's an arm shortage. Your Highness, the merchants in the south are complaining about bandits. Southern roads are too dangerous to travel, even with guards. Gangs of highly organized, well-armed highwaymen will ambush merchant caravans and steal absolutely everything. Alright, Council, what do? Do we pay mercenary company to patrol the roads? This will lower the treasury, but raise trade. Or do we B, make a few empty promises and hope this just all goes away? That will lower trade and raise defiance. Do we send a battle-hardened regiment to rout the bandits? That is a 0% chance of success because there's no military in the south anymore. Or D, do we offer a bounty on bandit scalps? This will lower the treasury. You know,
I'm going to point out that the bounty is a little less.
True. I'm just going to get rid of this one because there's no point in having it there. I don't think you all would vote for absolute failure, but just to be safe. Oh, Bubba, you have to type an ! vote and then the letter. Alright, let's see. We've got an offer the bounty, or we've got 1 vote for the mercenary company. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing a few votes, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're missing a few votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 2 and 3 and 1. Okay. Alright, so that's almost everyone. I think I'll end the voting there. Looks like we're offering a bounty on scalps. 10 gold per bandit scalp. By order of the king, reads the notice posted on village notice boards across the south. Adventurers, bounty hunters, and other scumbags sharpen their swords and venture out into the wilds. The plan is a great success, with dozens of rewards given to those intrepid murderers in return for hairy trophies. Another job well done. All right, what's this about, an arms shortage? Your Highness, the situation in the south is dire, but we just solved the bandit problem. Oh, another problem. The city watch in many of our cities is understaffed, and now crime is rampant. Even dueling is dwindled as major nobles take up other hobbies, like knitting and insect collecting. Path! We must bolster our dwindling forces in the south. Who knows what will happen to our people without protection? Alright, Council, what do we do about this? Do we hire a mercenary company to help protect the south? This will lower the treasury, lower the faith, but raise their military? Do we conduct an extensive southern recruitment campaign? Our authority is at 5, so this is a 55% chance of success. So that's a little more than a coin flip? Do we force farmers to join the southern military? That will lower farming but raise their military. Or, D, the south has no need for soldiers. Just leave them be. That has a 30% chance of success. So, I'm just gonna put my own vote in for that. Actually, no. I'm gonna bribe you all. Vote B and get some money. Alright, it looks like B is getting the runaway victory here. Right. There we go. It's near unanimous with only one detractor. We conduct an extensive recruitment campaign. Surely the peasants just need encouragement. Posters featuring your likeness pointing to the reader with the text saying, "King Roger needs you," are soon plastered throughout the south. Yes, a success. Once again, you are thankful for the superstitious common folk, perhaps only out of fear. Peasants across the south line up for armed duty. The grandees are most pleased. Hell yeah. Again, another job well done. Alright, it's time for taxes. And... Don't mind me, just doing taxes. Uh-oh. No, I think we're gonna work on the other stuff before we get to the Seeds of Rebellion. Starting with the crab trial. After months of delay, Noble Patrician Daluna13 is finally due to stand trial for their crab-related market manipulation. You stand accused of perpetrating fraud and tricking hundreds into buying expensive crabs. How do you plead?
I'm guilty only of making money. Broke a few laws along the way. Is that a crime?
Yes. By the exact nature of your statement, it is a crime. Yes, obviously. I pronounce you guilty as charged, and your fate will be decided by the king. Pardon the offender, imprison the guilty party, hang the scoundrel. Nope, we'll just imprison him. Seems like a bit excessive to execute him for market manipulation. We'll just put him in prison. Noble Patrician Daluna13 is dragged away in chains, wailing for clemency. Most of the watching nobles agree that justice has been done. Except for the patricians, of course. Yeah, that's not great, but hey, my authority's up and I'm happy about that. Who read for Alexa?
I believe I did. Please, your majesty, Daluna13 has young children. We're supposed to pay for the upkeep of their villa.
Oh, I guess we're just going to ignore that plea.
I'll be right back.
Alright. Do we want to hold off on this next one since Chaco's getting up, or...
Yeah, let's go ahead and do a break on this.
Yeah, we'll do a quick break for everyone. Stretch your water, drink your legs, all that fun jazz, as we get ready for this next thing and potentially Rebellion? Ooh. Hey, thank you for the sub, Bubba. I don't know why it's not playing my alerts. While we're on break, I'm going to try and fix this. Hold on 1 second. Maybe I don't have my alert box properly in the party games? That is exactly the situation. No wonder it wasn't playing them. Okay, we're gonna fix this right here, right now. Alert box is in. So now, next time someone does something like following, subscribing, or we get raided, it'll pop up where it's supposed to. And let's put the be right back up.
And I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. We decided to go on a brief break while you were gone. Because we didn't want to start the next event without you.
Yeah, there's a, potentially a tornado in, my vicinity. Not my exact vicinity, but in my county.
Gotcha. What's worrying?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's gonna hit me, but it's definitely, like, the southern end of our county is about to get fucked.
Gotcha. Oh, I see. That was a gift sub from Robot to Bubba. Whoops. Well, thank you, Robot, for the gift sub. Well, I hope it doesn't come close enough to you to be a problem.
I just got back. What was close enough?
So apparently there's a tornado, not like in Chaco's immediate vicinity, but like south of him.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, which, like I said, it's funny because in literally about 6 hours it's gonna be under 30.
Oof. You know what? I didn't properly get up. I'm gonna go get some water, stretch my legs, do all that, or drink my water, stretch them.
Oh. Well, you know what? Never mind. Apparently it's collapsing.
Oh, good. So
apparently the cell is basically collapsing right now.
Oh, the south, it's collapsing?
The cell.
Oh.
The south collapsed years ago.
You know what? Fair. Correct. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Yeah, it went from like 80-something miles an hour, the cell did, to like 18. In the span of about 3 minutes, so it's collapsing. You know, it's ironic considering actually growing up as a kid, I wanted to be a meteorologist while also having a deathly fear of thunderstorms.
Yep.
I don't envy Mark Allen Jr.'s profession as a storm watcher. Michigan doesn't really get that many tornadoes during the year, too, so it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Considering you, Daluna, you live in Texas, which is, like, right... I don't want... It's like, you're basically in Tornado Alley.
I'm in the edge of Tornado Alley. Like,
yeah.
We haven't had a tornado, like, knock on wood, here down in South Texas in, like, 5 years. But who knows? Like, the weather's been kind of fucky as of late.
Mm-hmm.
No, I will forever remember this till the day I die. I had one time, we had a tropical storm coming in. Me and my grandpa were excited because I was living down here for a month. Like, this was back when I was in high school before I moved back down here permanently. I came down to visit my grandpa and grandma just to be like, hey, I want to be down here. And yeah, we were watching the storm literally on screen. The tropical storm completely disintegrated by the time it got past past Corpus.
I have returned.
Like, it was, like, because it was so fucking hot. It was like the rain evaporated, basically.
Okay.
I've never seen that before, and I've never seen it since. But it's like, holy shit, that's amazingly stupid.
I apparently need to deactivate the Revelian Nightmare command I'm seeing now, because it just popped it in. Or rather, I need to change it to the proper command now. Anyway.
Also, apparently in wrestling news, Shawn Spears is back in WWE.
Huh.
AKA Ty Dillinger.
Perfect 10 is back. I was hoping he'd come back for the Rumble. That would have been, like, this could be a number 10 for one more, like, perfect 10 for 10 again.
Okay, now that I've shut that off, I need to put that back in when I can. Alright, but if you guys are ready, we're good to head into the next event.
Yep.
The Bandit Bounty. Your Majesty, I wanted to talk to you about the Bandit Bounty in the south. I have some concerns. I thought everything was going well. It's quite hard to verify a scalp. At the end of the day, it's just a tangled mass of hair. And the adventurers and bounty hunters, they're definitely killing some bandits, as well as some people who like bandits, or who may have been near some bandits in the past, or who were walking suspiciously. We're just paying adventurers to murder random people at this point, so I've ordered it to stop. I mean, that is what adventurers basically do when you bring it down to its base components. And so the bandit bounty comes to an abrupt end, leaving the peasants of the south traumatized and paranoid. The trade in the south is poor, and stability is down to lawless. Oof. But the outlaws still plague our roads. By the night, the bounty may not have worked, but we need to do something. Well, I did get some of your military back. Alright, Council, we need to make this problem go away. Do we pay a mercenary company to patrol the roads? Treasury goes down, trade goes up. Do we make a few empty promises and just hope this goes away? The trade will go down, defiance goes up. Or do we send some battle-hardened regiment out to rout the bandits? That has a 10% chance of success. So I think our only viable option here is A. Honestly. Which is why I'm giving you money if you vote A.
Give me money!
You know, I realize the irony of this. I'm giving you money to give away money. Hadn't considered that till this moment.
Too late, already voted.
Yep. I mean, technically speaking, the money just ethereally appears. I don't have to send it anywhere. Like, I'm not lowering the treasury. You're just getting money from someplace I don't know. Probably a wizard. I'm gonna guess a wizard did it. You pay for a fearsome mercenary company known as the Ghoul Bitten to patrol the roads and keep the bandits at bay. After a dozen bandit attacks are repelled in the roadside skirmishes, the bandits opt to lay low and lick their wounds. The roads are quiet once more. Merchants grumble that the mercenaries demand constant bribes and that their manners are almost as bad as those of the bandits. But who cares? Merchants are never happy. Alright, and now let's see what the Seeds of Rebellion are about, probably because our stability is in the tank. That's the 5th peasant I've had to hang this week. And just like all the others, she was trying to steal our gold and give it to the poor. Pah! What do they need with gold anyway? Something's amiss, Your Majesty. Someone has been stirring up discontent among the peasantry, And I have reason to believe it's the Count's. But why would the Count stir up trouble with the common folk? A peasant uprising is trouble. If not de-escalated quickly, the Counts will capitalize on the instability to install Kaja as monarch. So we kill a few more. Plus put the fear of the Ninth into them. You misunderstand. That's exactly what the Counts want. It will cause chaos. Your Majesty, you must get a grip on the common folk. If the kingdom is stable, discontent will not be able to spread as easily. This gives me time to root out conspirators. I'm sure I don't need to explain how fertile the current political climate is for unrest. Perhaps the Council will aid you in this endeavor? Alright, Council, what do we do? Everyone should chip in to pay for some new hospitals. Stability will go up, defiance will go up, and your wealth will go down. B. Do we promise some reforms to the common folk to keep them calm? That will delay their scheme for 1 season. Or see, peasants are always unhappy about something. Let them riot. So that's going to be a no from me, boss.
Damn it!
Because I knew you would have picked that one.
Chaos!
We're going to need to pick an actual solution to this problem. Sorry. I should have saved the bribery for this one so I could confirm that you would all go for A, but we'll see how the vote goes. You know, some genuinely good people in the council voting for A. Paying for those hospitals.
Fine, I'll vote for the hospital.
You know, it does my heart warm. It does my heart glad to see so many good nobles here. Hospitals! Everyone loves hospitals! Ever since the doctors stopped just waiting for people to die, and instead tried to cure them, everyone has always wanted more hospitals! Everyone, that is, besides the nobles, who usually have to pay for it. Who was reading for Tarine? I do not remember.
What? But why should we have to pay for them? They're laborers!
Well, here we go. The final push. I'm surprised it only raises it by 1. I feel like it should have raised it by more. Anyway, back in the east, Count L. Robot has met with co-conspirators once again. Wine is being passed around in good measure, and it seems spirits are high. Chaco?
We've done it again, my friends. The peasants are in an uproar. Riots are commonplace across the kingdom. I foresee no negative consequences of this. Other than for the king, of course. Indeed, we've even been able to use the current unrest as an excuse to expand our armies. The king can't gainsay us now. How delightful. Who knew that we could stand to gain so much by simply ruining the lives of a few measly peasants?
Oof.
Only one step remains. I have 2 proposals for the plan ahead. One way or another, we will push the peasants to turn violent.
Alright, Counts. How will you do it? Will you devalue the kingdom's currency, spreading mass poverty, which is lower all trade for all kingdoms? Or do we manufacture a food crisis, spreading mass starvation, lower all farming?
Honestly, I think trade is going to be the easier one.
I mean,
So,
there's
robot.
already just throwing it out there, there's already a head start on farming.
True. Then again, 232 also looks more consistent.
True. Right?
For all we know, I don't know how low we have to lower it, but that could be enough.
It's true.
Diabolical, why you might even call it evil.
Yeah, I'd call it that.
Evil! Evil!
No, it's for their own good. When you think about it, everyone will be better off with KotC on the throne. With this final push, we will ensure the king soon has more than just a few angry peasants on their hands.
Uh-oh. Yes, and once the fighting starts, I'll be right there, ready to step in and negotiate. For the final stage of their scheme, the counts must lower all regions' combined trade to 5 or less. So you just have to get rid of someone's trade, and you're there.
Yep.
Or lower 2 kingdoms' trade by 1. Monarch can mark preferred choice option if chosen. I think I want the Monarch's Iron choice. I'll get rid of... already have the maximum number of adopted loves. Please choose one. Okay. Oh, I see. I have to actually click it while it's up there. So yeah, we'll get rid of that for the Monarch's Iron choice. Defiance is too high and one or more of the regions is considering rebellion. Rebels will stop the regions from advancing their schemes. They can't be taxed or take part in normal votes. The patricians, if you wanted to, you could try to take the kingdom by force now if you go in a rebellion. But it would be you versus the grandees, the counts, and myself. But you could take those odds. Your military's not great.
Fucking stupid.
I mean, admittedly, you know, your chances aren't great for a rebellion when your military's at 1. But, I mean, you could do it.
The counts have the best military right now, but it's still not good.
Yeah. Panic at the council? Panic in the council, excuse me. Not panic at the council.
Holy shit. Brendan Uwe is here?
Who?
The guy, the lead singer of Panic at the Disco.
Ah, I didn't know him by his name. I'm just familiar with Panic at the Disco. Alright. That would be Choco.
Oh, well, Rod, me.
Your
Grace, I have bad news from the East. We're receiving reports of...
I think that was you too, Daluna.
Okay. I'm sure your news can wait. I bring urgent tidings from the coast that demand the king's attention at once. Wait your turn, you ignorant dolt.
Why don't you settle your quarrel outside? Meanwhile, I have news from the south that really is urgent. Now... Or no, wait, this seems more Heckna. Shut up! Shut up!
The Eastern courts are corrupt, your man. Judges are letting off the violence criminals in return for the slightest bit of coin. Is that all? By the 9th, the industries of the coast are in grave danger. The workers are striking. They demand fewer hours and higher pay.
So we're just gonna give that to them, right? Is that not how this works? My news is worse still. The cities in the south are being consumed with riots on a weekly basis. Our citizens want to overthrow the king and elect a more competent ruler. All these problems have arisen because the kingdom is increasingly unstable, Your Majesty. Something must be done. What do you suggest? Unfortunately, we lack the resources to tackle all these problems at once. We must vote on which matter to prioritize. Alright, what are we going to prioritize? Do we reform the Eastern courts? This will lower trade, raise and lower defiance, and raise stability. Do we break up the strikes along the coast? This will raise and lower defiance, lower trade, raise stability. Or C, do we restore order in the cities of the south? Raise and lower defiance, lower faith, raise stability. Either way, we raise stability. Let me see. I mean, all of them, except for one, lowers trade as well. So, I'm gonna pick C for the iron choice. Like, if you want to all stop Who is it that needed to lower trade? It was the Counts. If you want to stop the Counts, it might be a good idea to vote for the one that doesn't lower trade. I'm just throwing that out there. Taurine, I don't think it picked up your vote. You might have to put it in again.
Give us the chaos.
Chaos! Chaos! Chaos!
Oh no. Why are y'all working with the Counts? Bubba, Alexa, why?
Why not?
I went with order. Somewhat.
Alright. I think that's everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that is every vote. My iron choice doesn't count as an actual vote. Damn, which means I don't get that authority point either. You send your troops to break the strikes. After resulting riots have died down, the strikers reluctantly get back to work. The patricians are satisfied that you've enforced order, but more and more workers abandon the coast altogether, seeking employment in other regions. Their defiance is down to 6, but the trade is also brought down to destitute. Crisis on the coast has been quashed, making the kingdom as a whole slightly more stable, but the nobles of other regions feel that you're ignoring their problems. Our stability's gone up to 4, but defiance has gone up in the east and the south. Okay. Let's see, we have a famine and... what is that? Some kind of crisis. The flag is blocking my view of it. Refugee crisis. Oh boy. Those working in tandem are absolute horrid for each other. Let's start... Uh-oh. Connecting to game server? What happened? Okay, we're back in. That was weird. Let's start with the famine problem. Hello, Your Majesty. I've traveled all the way from the coast to beg you do something about the price of grain. I can't afford to feed my family. A day of backbreaking work isn't enough to buy a day's worth of bread.
He's right. The grain price of the coast is beyond all control. Greedy merchants rake in profit while the common folks starve.
Alright, Council.
Why do you care?
That's a good point. But what do we do, Council? Do we put a cap on the price of grain? That is a 70% chance of success, thanks to our authority being so high. Do we subsidize the grain and ensure it's sold for half its worth? That'll lower the treasury, lower stability, but raise farming. We could import grain from the east and distribute it for free. That will lower the treasury, raise and lower trade accordingly, increase the wealth of certain people, raise farming, and raise stability. So that's just all around good in general. Or D, the free market will correct itself in due time. Ah, the Andrew Ryan method. I think we all know how that turns out. But you know what? It's time for capitalism to do something for the benefit of the people. A or C? 70%'s a pretty good chance, but we failed on a 70 before. This has a lot of benefits. I think I'm going to go with C. If you vote for C, I'll give you some money. 500 personal wealth, specifically. And hello, Doc. I'm not even going to try and say your first name.
Gnosis.
That. There are 14 seconds left on the clock. Oh, also, if you would like to join Doc, type in !join and your preferred pronouns. Alright, it looks like we're importing the grain from the east and distributing it. The coast is in your debt, Your Majesty. The kingdom's coffers open and a tide of free grain floods in from the east to the coast, putting many coastal merchants out of business, but giving some counts a nice windfall. Treasury is... wow, that really plummeted the treasury. Oh my god. But hey, trade is up and down. Trade is down to 0 in the coast. God damn.
Oh god, the patricians feeling the sting of capitalism.
The grain provides sufficient to keep the peasants alive until the next harvest, which will hopefully bring better days. This raises our stability to 5 and boosts the farming up to 4.
The best part is, we're still under 14. We're still in it.
All right, let's see about this refugee crisis.
The coast is experiencing a terrible famine, Your Grace. A steady trickle of refugees has been poured into the east.
Damn it, the stability I just raised went down.
And?
Well, I mean, this is me. Experiencing a famine, you're really steady. Yeah, that's terrible news. Terrible tragedy. That's you, Daluna.
They're looking for food and steady work, but finding neither. They've tried to beg. Streets in eastern cities are crowded with coastal villages.
And yes, the patricians turn to wizardry.
Well, I'm sorry. My suffering people are clogging up the present eastern street. They need help, not judgment. But will the council give it?
It's an excellent question, Council. What are we going to do? Obviously, our treasury is too low to do that. B, do we fund the local militia to deal with the beggars? This will lower the treasury even further, down to 50. We will raise authority with that one. Defiance will go up, and the stability will go down. Do we close the roads out of the coast? This will raise Defiant, lower trade, and lower stability. Or... D, the king will personally hand out bread to the refugees in the east. That is a coin flip solution. I don't really have any options here, so fuck it, we'll see what you council do. I mean, I do have the veto. I could have gotten rid of one, but I don't know. We'll see how the voting goes.
I'll go with the majority.
Yeah, Doc, I probably should have put a veto out, but... dang. If Tarin had voted D, we could have tied this up and I could have chosen between the two of them. But I guess we're going to do the one that's all negative. Okay. Probably should have vetoed that one. Doc was right. Closing the roads means sending soldiers out into the countryside to build barricades. This diverts manpower from keeping the order of the coast itself. Riots are widespread. Their trade cannot get any lower. Their defiance is at 7, and our stability is down to 3. Meanwhile, the flow of refugees into the east barely slows. They just abandon the roads and take the perilous journey across the hills and forests instead. Tensions heighten between the patricians and counts. Wait, you mean building a wall doesn't solve anything? Imagine.
Who would have thought?
Well, let's end this very poor season. Meanwhile, in the south, Grandy the Bubble Ubba Ding Dong has invited their closest associates to their manor house for some wine and cheese and treason. Was this Chaka reading for Bubba, or was it Daluna? I don't remember.
It was me. The council demanded a shakeup, but the king resists all calls to replace his advisors.
There's little we can do while the king holds out, but something tells me his position is not as strong as he thinks. The Grandees aim to lower authority to 4 or less. Meanwhile, the dreams of being. Along the coast, noble patrician Daluna II is visiting the wizard Scrampton on his cliffside tower built of knotted coral and seashells. Your side of the bargain is complete. The dreams of being are no longer a threat. Their palaces stand empty.
My thanks greatly. Now, shall we discuss how to overthrow this troublesome king?
Alright, patricians, how will you do it? Do we curse him with a fate worse than death? You'll have to raise trade for that one. Or do you send him far away so he can never return? You'll have to raise stability for that one. B sounds like the much taller order.
That's the harder order right now, because our trade isn't doing good either, though.
Yeah, your trade's at 0. Taurine says curse. Going for the trade, that's interesting. Seems the other patricians have not voted yet, so I'll hold out.
Stop.
No matter what patricians have. He's a stat of choice by 2. Alright. Who didn't vote? Oh, Alexa. There we go. Well, it's unanimous. You're gonna try for trade. You're gonna have to raise this nightmare. Worse than death? Well, it can be done, but it will require an additional fee. Enough gold to sink a galleon, perhaps. That's a good start.
That's below. Thought we had already sealed the deal.
No, something you should learn. Dealing with wizards is a tricky business. Now get me that gold. For the last stage of their scheme, the patricians must raise their trade to at least 5. Right, from 0 to 5. Let's go! Right. The East are in the 3rd stage of their plot. The patricians are also in the 3rd stage. Unfortunately for the Grandies, they're only in the 2nd stage. In our
It's gonna be close.
It really is, yeah. In our rebellion report, no one has gone on a rebellion yet, but the patricians could rebel. If you think your goals are insurmountable, you could just try to rise up and fight with your 1 point of military, though. It's a tall order either which way. They're going to have a bit of a difficult situation. Hey, let's go to the heir problem before we deal with everything else. Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council, holding a small child in your arms. Should I die, I ask my crown be passed down to... The council hall is filled with nervous silence. My son. The assembled nobles break out into polite applause. By designating an heir, you have cemented the stability of the kingdom. Who was Gnosis Doc?
Your Highness, may I be the first to congratulate you on the birth of your son. What is his name?
Roger II. We have no originality in my family line. Draco?
How delightful, Your Majesty. I'm sure little Roger II will grow up to be a chip off the old block.
Congratulations on finding an heir. Now you just need to fulfill your ambition to win the game. Expect a visit from the Spy Master. Soon. Alright, well, bankruptcy, huh? Also, what's that? A prediction? Yeah, let's do the bankruptcy. The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. What do you suggest we do? Apart from raising taxes, we have precious few options. You could get a bank loan, or sell off crown jewels, or perhaps crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Most were buried with piles of gold, or so I've heard. Whoa. I own the Royal Mint, don't I? Make more coins! I see no way how this could go horribly awry for us. Hefty loan from Salvant and Gaul Bank, that's 3,000 but lowers my authority. Well, you know what? It's time to crack open some tubes. What are the dead using that gold for? Nothing, that's what. Free money, let's go.
No, like, you know what Heckna would do?
What?
I was gonna say, he would actually just print more coin.
I mean, he does print all the tickets in the Revelia, or did. But I feel like robbing from the dead is also in character. That buried gold isn't doing anyone any good, is it? Time to desecrate some graves.
God, it's like Mr. Krabs.
Yeah.
Would I really desecrate this grave for money? Of course I am!
You order the royal mausoleums dug into and looted. The result is quite a bounty. Gold masks, heaps of coins, precious jewels. Besides, with the loan I'd have to pay that back eventually. That's silly. Not everyone is as practical as your treasurer, however. The church denounces you as a grave robber. Nobles and peasants alike are disgusted by your greed. I mean, is it really greed if I didn't have enough money to run the country? Something tells me people won't see it my way.
Basically, they're like, "Why are you taking away the coins that we gave for the ferrymen after they died?"
Well, they probably paid him off by now. Like, I doubt they're gonna need a round trip for the 2 coins they had. It's 2 to get on the ferry. Who's doing Doc again?
Your Majesty, excellent news from beyond the sky. As your grace knows, I am an amateur astronomer. I have seen that the solar eclipse is on the way, visible from the east. We must encourage the kingdom to gather beneath the dark sun and experience this once-in-a-lifetime event.
By the 9th day! An eclipse is a warning from the 9th god, a sign that the kingdom has fallen to shadow! All the nobles start talking at once. Some are excited, some are horrified, but all are very loud. So, just a typical council meeting. Alright, council, what do we do? Focus on holy protection against the eclipse. Faith will go up, defiance goes down. Do we encourage visitors to the east to witness the event? That will raise defiance, raise trade, but lower faith. Or C, these sun-obsessed fools should focus on their land, not the sky. This will raise defiance and raise farming. You know what? I'll give you 500 for encouraging visitors. Yay, tourism.
Take the dead money. I don't want it anymore.
Wow, everyone is doing so well because of my bribes.
I'm surprised we haven't had an auction in the last few days.
It's weird that we haven't had taxes have to be a thing. Voting is closed. By the 9th, you shouldn't be encouraging this nonsense. As word gets out, the impending solar event, visitors from across the kingdom drift over to the east. Trade flourishes, but priests of the 9th are concerned that peasants are spending more time looking at the sky than attending sermons. Darn. Tragic that.
Wait, why didn't... I thought we...
So,
why are we getting up?
well, it was in the east.
Oh, okay.
You weren't getting any tourism from that. So, let's end the season. And it's time to start an auction. What will we do, folks? You can make a fortress to raise the military in the count specifically. You could lower the count's trade if you vote for a thieves guild. If you get an observatory in the grandees, that'll lower their faith. A theater will lower authority for the kingdom at large. An aqueduct in the patricians will raise their farming. And a grand bazaar will raise their trade. So I get a feeling that's what the patricians will be voting for, but it's time to start our auction. I think... Let's see, you voted for... funding.
I'm pumping everything I got into the Thieves Guild.
Okay, so it did go. All right,
Your trade will go down, our trade will go up.
Yep, that's basically what it's shaking out to look like. Although the theater did get a little touch in there for a second, but it seems like the raising and lowering of trade seems to be the goals. But we still have 30 seconds. It could go either which way. All right, 20 seconds on the clock.
We need your help, buddy.
So far, it's B and F. Five seconds on the clock. Well, it looks like that it's going to be the Thieves Guild and the Grand Bazaar. Trade is neutralizing, going down in the east, but going up in the south.
Also, apparently, weather update, the supposed tornado cell is now no longer my problem. It's apparently out of my area.
All right.
The bad news is it's gone into the county next to me, so Battle Creek is about to get wrecked.
Oof.
Say goodbye to your cereal, kids.
Looks like we have the Grandies also on the verge of rebellion now. The two of them together make a military of 3. And either one of them can vote to begin open rebellion. But let's check in on my ambition really quick. For no reason in particular. At the start of your reign, you said you wanted to be the greatest king who ever lived. You're well on track to achieving that aim. Well done, your majesty. Oh good, that lowers defiance. But to shut down your nobles' scheming for good, we need to build on that reputation. Your advisors have some ideas. We should crush these disloyal nobles, smash their armies, and force them to submit. I like that one. That seems viable. On the other hand, your majesty, if you help us spread the zeal of the ninth god, the church will lend our full support with the backing of the church. Nobles wouldn't dare to move against you. I mean, faith is pretty high in the Grandies and in the patricians. Let's see. Authority and military or authority and faith? Well, our military is dog shit across the board, so I think I'm going to go with... You know, I believe in a higher power. I mean, maybe not exactly the ninth god, but I mean, you know, maybe he is. I don't know.
Oh man, how did it come out like this?
A wise decision, your majesty. I'll send word to my priests. But of course, you need to be worthy. Your priority is to raise your authority and the kingdom's overall faith as much as you can. And of course, there can be no open rebellion among the nobles. Oh good, there isn't rebellion yet. But y'all could vote for it and ruin my day. To vote for rebellion, does it not give you the command for that? Oh, yes it does. If you would like to rebel, type !rebel. That is open to the patricians or the Grandies, if either one of you want to do that. Immunity at Cuervo Keep. We've got one already in there.
Rebel.
Your Highness, a troubling development at the prison of Cuervo Keep. Cuervo Keep? Alright, so we got two... Oh...
The greatest southern prison for the worst criminals. Apparently it's run by a guy named Jose. A massive castle perched on the desert mountaintop. Alas, prisoners at the camp have staged a mutiny. We have no idea what went wrong, but they've killed all the guards and taken Cuervo for themselves as well as Jose.
Oh no, not Jose.
We've come to your holiness because the prisoners are now making demands of you. If you do not respond, they will kill the hostages, including Cuervo Keep's owner, Jose, as well as Grandi Sevilla.
Oh no! What are their demands?
Firstly, they want their crimes forgiven, which is pretty standard as far as things go.
Right.
But they're also asking for a significant gold payment and free passage to Ashmead.
I'll hold a vote. What can we do? So we can't give in to their demands. We don't have enough money for that. We could set them free but refuse to pay. That is a 70% chance of success. We could recapture Cuervo Keep by force, but our military isn't good enough for that. Or D, do we agree to their demands, then kill them when they leave the keep? That'll raise authority and lower defiance. Ah, now that's thinking. I'm curious about something. I don't know if y'all will vote for D, but I'm curious if that'll give a double authority boost or not. If D is the one chosen. And we'll have to see about the rebel. You guys might need to do the rebel again since we went new event the exact second you put those in, but we'll see how that goes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Oops. Shit, I accidentally double-clicked it. But, oh! It looks like it's a dead split between them. You know what? I mean, I'm the one that picked it, so let's see if we get that double boost. We do.
We do.
A chest of gold is wheeled out before the mutineers, and the soldiers surrounding the keep put down their arms. When the prisoners leave the keep, hostages in tow, the ambush takes place. It's a bloody massacre, with minimal casualties on your side, as expected. The Grandees hail this great victory with a parade through the nearby city, and the heads of the mutineers are put on display at Cuervo to deter further rebellions. And that definitely lowered it. Okay, it says that... Wait, the rebellion halted? Ah, I see. So 3 people voted in the patricians, 2 voted in the Grandees, but I managed to lower your defiance enough to where it's not happening? Or, defiance is below authority or stability, so you have to lower my authority or stability to get the rebellion going. I see what the thing... Okay. So that's your new goals if you want to properly rebel. Lower our authority. Solar Discovery. Taurine.
Your August Majesty, while scouting the east for a prime eclipse viewing spot, my servants discovered a portal.
A portal?
Its shimmering shadow hanging in the air, about the size of a door. We threw a rocket and it returned as a slab of polished obsidian.
How exciting!
Naturally, I sent one of my servants through next.
Of course, as you would do.
I saw a red wasteland beneath the sky whose color or vile description. I recall a tale of my childhood for such a land, where fairy beings gave vast riches to those brave enough to visit.
Riches, you say? This portal is on my land, so I have the rights to any riches it may contain.
But I discovered it. Well, my servant did. Great treasure lies beyond. I'm sure of it.
Alright, Council, what do we do with this information? Count Gnosis Doc owns the land, so he owns the portal. However, we could say that Taurine is the one that discovered it, so she can explore it. Or, see, whoever has the most money should hire an adventurer to explore it. That'll lower the wealth of either party, I think. So the choice is, of course, yours. What'll we voting for, Council?
Can you show us the wealth real quick?
Send a sacrifice.
Yes. Also, Daluna, if you want to check your personal wealth, you can click on the stream. There should be like a little card.
Right.
Okay, so far it's... well, I was going to say it's an even split, but then that third vote came in. Oh. Alright, we've got one last person who needs to vote, and it's a dead split. Whoever has the most money should hire an adventurer. Let's take a quick look-see between the two. Well, Taurine doesn't have any money, so that would inevitably go to Doc. I don't know how well he'd do it. I think I'm gonna give it to Taurine, because she kind of really needs the money. The patricians are delighted and start making preparations immediately. The kingdom waits to hear what riches or horrors are within. I'm sure it's perfectly fine. Meanwhile, complaints from the counts grow as the eclipse draws nearer. I never knew that a rebellion could be halted by authority. That's good to know. Our faith is okay, but let's end the season. Alright. Like I said, we got a few people that are pretty hurting, so you know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give the counts some money. And I mean, someone's gonna have to pay for this, unfortunately, and the Grandees are doing pretty well. There we go. I've raised and lowered to 5. Yeah, you gotta respect Finder's Keeper. You know what? I'm gonna check this spot of heresy. Chaco?
Your Majesty, I'm stunned, outraged, and incensed. I'm also pretty peeved. I've been summoned to trial by the Inquisition on some nonsense fabricated charge. They're claiming I'm part of a cult because of the peculiar design of my crest and how I have exactly 10 people at every meal, and the strange noises from hidden chambers. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I mean, okay, I was on your side at first, but then you got to the strange noises part, and I'm like, well, maybe they're onto something. Also, that's a very good point, Doc. Maybe I should pour some water on her head.
No one dares defend me on their own. They're too scared of the High Inquisitor. The trial is set, but the Council must intervene, Your Majesty.
Though she remains silent, the Council is keenly aware of the High Inquisitor's steely gaze across the chamber. Well, what are we gonna do? Do we search for a witness to defend Count Nosistok, which is only a 30% chance of success because our stability? Do we help the Inquisition gather evidence against Nosistok, which is a 30% chance of success because of faith? Or do we do the coin flip, suggest he pray for a good outcome? Don't mind me, I'm just bribing you for that outcome. 50 or 500 gold if you all suggest he pray. I'm sorry, Doc, but you know, if you are just and it's all just fabricated rumors, then the Ninth God will protect you. That's how this works. Alright, pray for a good outcome. Chaco.
Oh.
During the trial, Nosistok crumbles and confesses to being a disciple of the 10th God. Oh god, that went horribly. Our stability got even lower. The faith can't go down more.
I'm glad we didn't go with stability.
Jeez. Unsmiling, the High Inquisitor gives the order. By the end of the day, Nosistok has been put to death. Nosistok has died. Nosistok II has joined the council. Well, that could have gone better. Let's see what stargazing's about before I do the ambition. This simply can't go on, Your Majesty. These arch-boffins think they know everything, but they know nothing of the Ninth God's wrath. Please, Your Majesty, we've found a perfect site for the observatory high in the southern hills. But it's on Grandy Surveyor's lands, and he refuses to let us build there. I mean, you can't just build on the guy's backyard. Come on. Such things are heresy! The stars are just as big and close as the Ninth God intended. Who put you up to this idea, I bet it was one of those patricians like Alexa Aranel. Alright, Council. Do we just observe the construction? 100% chance of success because I'm at 9 authority. Do we find a different site for the observatory? That, we don't know what the consequences of that would be. Do we forbid construction of the observatory altogether? This will raise faith, but lower defiance. And lower defiance, okay. Or do we forbid construction and investigate the scholar's findings? Well, I leave it up to you. Do we go with random chance, sure success, or raising the faith?
Sure, why not?
Hey, how much longer are we gonna go? 'Cause I'm starting to get tired.
We're probably near the end at this point, I think.
I also have work at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's only a 4-hour shift, so I can stay up a little bit, but...
Okay, yeah, we can try to end this soon, because, like, it says my ambition is up, so I might be winning this one, but we'll have to see how my rolls go. And if not, we can just end after that. Right, we're just going to construct the observatory. The Grandees grumble and groan, but construction goes ahead. Over time, the observatory provides new jobs and brings many traveling scholars to the area, paying for itself many times over. Trade has gone up, but defiance has also gone up. And now, let's see how I'm doing on sainthood. Saint Roger. Your Majesty, I received messages from the priests beyond the capital. They've been working hard to promote your power in every sermon. I love to see church and state working together. Absolutely, Your Majesty. Listen to the priest's letters. Your command of the kingdom is masterful, Your Majesty. The nobles are in no position to push back against you. Now, the true journey of sainthood begins. We will scour the kingdom for miracles, so that you can show the holiness of your rule. Please, thank your priests for me. Oh, they need no thanks, more than ever. They serve the crown and the ninth is one. Shall I write to my priests directly? They will investigate any potential miracles and set word once they find something. Ooh, 30% chance. Well, let's throw those dice. Failure. Yeah, I had a feeling, considering we have a 0 faith. After a few weeks, the Archbishop returns with an immensely sour expression. In the east, a pig seemed to be sick, but then she got up and walked. And a villager on the coast claimed that his statue of St. Bertrand started crying, but his neighbors said it was just rain. How can we make this work? We must bring the lost sheep back to our flock. Without a faithful kingdom, there's little to be done. To improve your chances of victory, focus on increasing the kingdom's faith as much as possible by the next 2 seasons. The challenge will decrease if the difficulty with each failed attempt. Ooh. Well, that's not good. Alright, so do we want to end here or end the season and get the next one started? Like, not actually go through.
Let's end here, because like I said, like I'm... Like, I think both me and Chaco should probably go to bed soon.
Alright. Then, with that, we'll end this here. Let's start with Daluna. What do you have going on?
Hello, you can find me on Twitter at Daluna1338, Twitch, YouTube, and Blue Sky at Daluna13. So I am currently not really doing anything other than being an assistant to other people's streams. Like on Thursday, I'm going to be over here again on Draco's channel for the next episode of Kingdom Hearts. I believe we're in the belly of the whale because we're doing Riku's story in Monstero.
Indeed.
He's like, how the hell did we get there?
Yeah. All right. And moving along, Chaco, where can people find you?
Hello, you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch as Chocolate Zombie 101. When I have the energy to stream, we've been doing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I also bought a capture card, so I'm trying to learn how to use that. It hasn't been super successful so far. If I do end up how to use it, I'm hoping to upgrade to PC streaming, but I also don't know how well my rig handles streaming, so that's going to be a question mark. Aside from that, you can find me, I believe next Tuesday, so a week from today, will be the first session of Phase of Our Lives, our Journey Through the Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign module. Myself, Draco, and Daluna will all be there, as well as Burnout Vaughn, Kalen C37, and I believe also Hoshi is going to be in there too, Royal Hoshi. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for that. And then on Saturdays, catch me and Daluna for Power Rangers Cyber Strike, our Power Rangers tabletop RPG campaign, where I play our Resident Red Ranger. Stay tuned to our social medias. I don't know what our status is going to be like next week, and as well as the week after that, but we'll let you know if we're going to be going live or not.
All right. And of course, you've already found me here. I stream Monday, Tuesdays, on occasion, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Monday, you can catch me here for more Crosscode. we've managed to finish off the Sapphire Ridge and fought that samurai bug, utterly obliterating him because I became super busted. As you do. As you do. Like Chaco said, on Tuesday over at Burnout Vaughn's channel, you can catch us for Phase of Our Lives. So it's going to be like a bi-weekly thing. So some days we'll be here to do King of the Castle, other party games. Other Tuesdays we'll be over there for Phase of Our Lives. That's how it's generally shaking down. It'll be March 5th when Phase of Our Lives starts, so I believe that is next week. Anyway, Wednesday, you can catch me here, where I will be playing more Triforce Heroes. We have to get through the fortress in the Badlands and then make our way to the next area, which I believe is the Dunes. So once we get through there, we'll still have, I think, like 2 more other worlds to go through, but we're getting closer and closer to the end of Triforce Heroes. Thursday, you can catch myself here with Daluna13 as we go through Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. We're in Prankster's Paradise. Riku is going through Monstro's tummy, and Sora's trying to track down Pinocchio and help save him. We'll see how that goes. And last, but certainly not least, on Friday, you can catch myself, Royal Hoshi, yelling at me, Lost Knights, Onyx Locket, Rod and Rod. All those fun people. As they go through Odyssey and Rhapsody of Fire, our heroes, Immortal Somachi, are going to dive down to the lost city of the Sirens to try and find the Promethean Flame, the last of the divine artifacts needed for them to manage to do the Theogenesis spell and give godhood to the former god of beauty, Narcissus, and perhaps some of them will also become gods. You'll just have to tune in to see how that goes. But with all that said and done, how about we find someone to raid?
I have Beowulf, Bosco, and Artsy are currently live doing Halo. MG McFly, Bracky, Arkolf is doing Lethal Company, and that's about it for the under 100 gang.
I'd say